Welcome to Life Extension Live. It's great to have you with us today. I'm Dr. Mike, and this is
Dr. Crystal.
So this is going to be one of my favorite shows. I'm going to tell you right now because we're going to talk about one of my favorite spices. So, do you like curry?
Of course, all sorts. Jamaican curry, Thai curry, Indian curry.
Now, see, all I know is there's what I go by the color.
Oh, yes.
Green, yellow, red.
Red curry.
Those are what I know, right? But out of all of it, regardless of where it's from, what you mix it with, there is one consistent spice, isn't there? What is that?
Yes, and that is turmeric.
Yeah, that is, and it's one of the greatest things for you at the end of the day.
Yes.
We love our turmeric, and we're going to talk a lot about that today. As a matter of fact, on today's show, we're going to talk about turmeric. and really what's important is the key compounds inside of them and all those health benefits. That's the curcumins or the curcuminoids, right? And then we're going to also talk about the best way to take the spice. So you reap all those benefits, right?
We still get lots of questions
all
on
the
curcumin,
time.
and we figured let's just take it back to the basics.
Let's go back. I love when we go back to the basics. That's really good. Is your curry hot or spicy or
spicy?
Spicy.
It doesn't have to be spicy.
Yeah, it does.
I know some people avoid it because they think, oh, it's too spicy. But the actual, you can get it mild.
Yeah.
You can have it prepared different
levels
of spice.
One of my favorite Indian restaurants. You told me about it. When you order your curries, you can pick the number of heat. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. There's one that pretty much is mild, and there's 10. I tried a 10 once. And that was a little too much. Oh. That was pretty intense. All right, but let's get into why we're here today. Turmeric. We have a nice picture of it. Let's throw that up, Hannah. There it is. That's the turmeric root.
Yes, the root from the Curcuma longa plant.
There you go. That's the official name. And when you grind it up, that's the golden powder you see, the spice.
The golden spice.
The golden spice. Now, in that powder, about 2 to 6% of it is curcuminoids. And it's the curcuminoids, and one in particular called curcumin, right, that really has most of the research and gives most of the health benefits.
Yep. You'll also find something called turmerones.
That's right.
And when you combine that with curcumin, it helps to support absorption.
Yeah. Those are kind of more on the oil side of it, right?
Yes.
Whereas the curcumin is going to be more on that powder side. But the combination helps absorption. You see a lot with fats and stuff. They help absorb nutrients. So let's get into why are we talking about this? Why is this important?
Yeah. Curcumin's claim to fame, I guess I would call it, is its benefit to target inflammation in the body.
Hands down.
In particular, it helps to target the master orchestrator of inflammation called NF-kappa B.
Yeah.
And that NF-kappa B, once it kind of is released or activated in the cell, it kind of controls the creation of lots of inflammatory molecules. So if we can target and kind of stop that NF-kappa B, it has a profound effect on inflammation in the body.
Right. And how many times have we said inflammation is the common denominator of age-related disease?
Yes.
Right? And when we say that, I think it's important to clarify. We're not saying inflammation causes necessarily that, but it plays a role in progression,
that's right,
outcome, that kind of stuff, regardless of an age-related disorder. So keeping chronic inflammation down is one of the key strategies we talk about.
And it also has an antioxidant effect.
Right.
Targeting the free radicals that we're exposed to every day from the food we eat, from the sun exposure, from pollution in the air, from just our body making energy.
Right. And so right there, that's enough to cook with it, eat it, right? And even add it to your daily routine, I think.
Put it on your skin.
Didn't we do something like that before?
We made a mask.
We did.
Remember, some type of hand mask or face mask.
We did a curcumin, because it's an antioxidant mask. That's right. So you can even put it on your skin, but it really should be a part of your daily routine. I've been taking curcumin. It's been a part of my daily routine for years, and I have no plans to stop. Right?
Why would you?
I wouldn't. But when people hear that sometimes, Dr. Crystal, they're like, okay, great, inflammation, oxidative stress. But we can get a little bit more specific with benefits, right?
Right. What does that, like, how does that translate to other
Yeah.
health concerns?
Right. And so the first one we're going to talk about is big.
Weight.
That's right. Yes.
But many of us could use a little help in that department.
We all struggle. It's a struggle as you get a little older. So yeah, it turns out, I think there was a nice study, right? You want to go through that study?
Yeah, sure. An updated meta-analysis of 50 clinical trials. And just to clarify, what that means is the researchers looked at data from multiple clinical trials and kind of analyzed the data from those trials. And so looking at about 50 clinical trials, they saw a weight management benefit for adding in curcumin from turmeric.
Right. Yeah, and then when you see stuff like that, I mean, I know I do this, and I know you do it too. It's like, well, how is it working? Like, what's going on there? Is it just because it's helping to control inflammation? Maybe a little. I don't know. But is there, did the authors kind of theorize a little more about what might be going on when you're taking curcumin to lose weight?
Yes. Well, one, it increases energy expenditure, which means we're increasing your metabolism. Some other mechanisms increase lipid metabolism as well as supporting the gut bugs.
Yeah, that's big. And I think more and more we're learning how important that is to overall health and stuff.
Right. And importantly, the researchers or the authors of the study made this quote: curcumin extract and bioavailability enhanced formulas seem to be the most effective formulas for weight reduction.
That's good.
Which means we need to try to, the turmeric is good, cooking with it, eating the curry, that's great. But you want to think about extracts and also think about extracts that have special delivery systems.
To really get it in. Yeah. Because curcumin needs help.
Yes.
To get into your system. And we talk about this all the time. If you've been watching Life Extension Live for a while, or even maybe listening to our podcast, Dr. Crystal and I, we talk often about, food first, but often the food is not giving you the amount that you see in the research. Right. So food first, but if you really want to rev it up and get some of these other benefits, adding it to your daily routine in a capsule is probably really important. Yeah. All right. So that was our weight loss. The next one I think is kind of eye-opening, right? That curcumin can affect dementias and maybe even Alzheimer's. Yes.
Well, we do. We see it in animal research. In your animal models, there is no guessing that, yes, it is beneficial. And we do have some human studies to back it up as well. We want more human studies, so make sure you're supporting the researchers out there and participating in the human studies. But we want to make sure we have research showing benefit at different stages of Alzheimer's as well. Sometimes when you're looking at the Alzheimer's research with curcumin, maybe it was late stage. Right. We want some early stage, mid stage. Right, so we're still kind of checking out the landscape.
Yeah. And so when you look at, so again, but just the same way we asked, okay, how is it working with weight loss? What's going on? We asked the same question here, right? And so it's a pretty expansive list of how curcumin may be influencing dementias and stuff like that. I mean, and there's some big words here and stuff like that. In Alzheimer's, one of the key things is you get these abnormal proteins, these tau proteins, amyloid proteins that block brain cells from talking, right?
Yes.
And so it's been shown maybe that curcumin can help to remove some of those abnormal proteins. And there's a whole list here. But there's one on here I really wanted to bring up.
Which one?
Insulin activity.
Oh.
There's a lot of new research kind of showing that Alzheimer's could be like a type 3 diabetes in your brain.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
It's really interesting.
And curcumin apparently is helping to improve insulin signaling, sensitivity, and that may be one key mechanism.
Yeah.
Interesting. Another good reason to take some curcumin every day.
Now we should get to some of the questions that people ask. Some of the confusion.
There's some confusion
around curcumin, and there's a new school and an old school way to think about curcumin and the best way to get it into the
take it.
body, because we do know curcumin, it's a fat soluble nutrient, but it is very difficult to get into the body, the absorption.
Right.
There are processes that kind of bind to the curcumin, blocking some of the active curcumin or that free curcumin from getting into the body. So I can remember, Dr. Mike, when I first came to Life Extension, the best way, the delivery system that everyone asked for was with black pepper.
Black pepper, yeah.
Yes.
And it's common. Black pepper does help a lot of nutrients absorbs, and it's been used for a long time.
Right.
In the nutrition industry.
Yeah, and people still ask about that.
For sure, yeah.
They look for it on the labels. I used to tell people, look for black pepper, piperine or black pepper extract, because we knew that it improved the absorption.
Right, and it did, and that's great, but that's old school.
That's old school.
We got something new, right? There's, and this is what I love about this industry is where researchers are always trying to evolve things.
Yeah.
You know, okay, yeah, black pepper helps. What could be better?
Right.
Because some people have issues with black pepper too.
That's
taking
true.
it, right?
Yes.
And so not everybody can do a black pepper combination of curcumin. And if you're just doing straight curcumin, you're really not getting much in. So what's the new school?
Yeah, so the new school is there's two theories. And one thing I mentioned already is the fact that we want free curcumin getting into the body. It's the free curcumin, like just that pure curcumin molecule.
All by itself.
All by itself. That is what is able to get into your cells. That's what's getting into your brain. But through the process of digestion, a lot of that curcumin can become bound.
Right. We call that conjugation.
Yeah, called conjugation. And so that bound curcumin is, it gets into the bloodstream. Some of it may not actually make it to the bloodstream, but it's not ready for the body to use.
It's not free.
Right.
It's not free to do its thing.
So when you look at these delivery systems and you look at something like black pepper, yeah, it can get some of that into the bloodstream, but that binding is still happening.
Right.
So the new way is to combine the curcumin, or sort of encase and protect that curcumin in fenugreek galactomanins.
Yeah. Now,
big words here.
So fenugreek is fine. So in fenugreek, which is a plant, right?
Yeah.
There's these compounds.
Fibers.
Mm-hmm. You love this.
Mm-hmm.
Galactomanins, right?
Yes.
So it's the galactomanins that are surrounding the curcumin.
Yeah, kind of forming like this gel protective barrier.
Yeah. It's like a little shield for the curcumin.
For the curcumin. And what the research is finding in a human study, turmeric extract combined with fenugreek fiber provided better absorption of total curcuminoids and 45.5 times more bioavailable free curcuminoids than an unformulated curcumin. So when you think about where we are, you can kind of think of this technology as smartphones.
Yeah.
With these special features.
Yeah.
This is
that's
the
good. I like that. Yeah.
level.
That's
and you
good.
can kind of think of the black pepper version. It still helps with absorption, but maybe that was more of the flip phone.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it, because we know that the black pepper really didn't impact free curcumin near as much, right?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
But this galactomanins, they get into the system, they get to the cell, they fall off, and free curcumin goes into that cell. So that's new school. So when it comes to adding curcumin in your daily routine from turmeric, you really want to look on the label for the fenugreek galactomanins.
Yeah.
Right? That's the one I take every day. Do you take
I take mine with ginger.
Oh, that's good too.
I like that combination.
That's good too. Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, well, ginger, it's kind of in the same family. If you look at the root, they look the same, except one is tan and one is orange.
Yeah.
And they both have very powerful anti-inflammatory effects. And so, you know me, I'm going to take
Yeah.
take it to the next level.
Yeah, they play off each other.
They do.
Yeah, it's kind of like they get, like you and I, we get our energy going, we're feeding off, so they feed off each other, right?
Yes.
That's it. So that is a really good combination. So there you go. Turmeric, curries, eat it, use the spice as much as you can, maybe even make a face mask out of it. And that's true. We're not kidding on that. Go check it out. Go Google it, I guess, right?
Yes.
And they're out there. But then to really benefit, right? To really get the inflammatory part of it, the antioxidant part, weight loss, cognitive health, you're really going to want to add it to your regimen,
Yes.
right? In a day, and look for the fenugreek galactomannans. That's the best way to get it,
Yes.
right? We have a blog,
We do.
right? lifeextension.com/curcumin, and the reason we do that is because we have great writers, and they will often expand on a lot of what we talk about in the live and go into much greater detail, go into the research a little bit more. They even have recipes in there sometimes, right? So go check that out at lifeextension.com/curcumin. So don't forget, we go live every Wednesday at 12 noon. We love to see you here. Share and like these shows.
Yes.
Right?
Host a watch party.
Host
Mom.
a watch party like her mom does. Hit that interested. It's called interested, right? It's the interested button, I think. And that way, when we about to go live, it tells you,
Yes.
hey, they're about to go live. So that's every Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern time. I'm Dr. Mike. That is.
Dr. Crystal.
We'll see you next Wednesday.